In this lesson, this is lesson number 24.5, we continue, it's a continuance of the lesson number AY24, which is body image. So it's called the body image continued. And in this lesson, we are asked to measure in our mind different proportions, lengths of different parts of the body. So what is it when you measure in your mind the size of body parts, like foot versus forearm length? You're relying mainly on proprioception, your internal sense of body position, size, and relation to space. But in practice, it's not only proprioception. Proprioception, the sensory feedback from muscles, joints, tendons, fascia, this gives you a felt sense of length, angle, weight, and movement. Interoception is the inner sense of your body, not so much length, but comfort, pressure, fullness, and subtle sensations. Then there is the body image, body schema, the brain's mental map built from proprioception, vision, touch, and past experience. When you compare the forearm and the foot, you're drawing on this map. And then there is the kinesthetic imagination, the ability to simulate or feel movement without actually moving. So, proprioception is central, but it's more accurate to say that you are using a blend of proprioception plus kinesthetic imagination plus memory of touch and vision. Lie down quietly for a moment. Close your eyes, please. Put your legs apart. Place your hands on either side of your body. And decide to listen with your eyes closed, please. Listen to what is bigger, the nose or the forehead, from the eyebrows to the upper lip, below the nasal septum or the forehead. Listen so you can decide which one feels greater. And now, which distance is greater, from under the nose until the end of the chin or the forehead? What is bigger, the distance from the corner of the left mouth, from the left corner of the mouth to the left ear hole or the forehead? What is bigger, the distance between the ear hole to the left corner of the mouth, or from the right side, from the ear to the corner of the mouth? What is bigger, the distance from the chin to the sternum, the hollow that exists between the two muscles in the breastbone, or between the back of the head and the large vertebra of the neck? From the base of the head to the large vertebra of the neck, what is a greater distance? Imagine a ribbon around the neck, in the narrowest place in the neck, like many women wear, black ribbons like that around the neck. It was once in fashion. Well, in the narrowest place in the neck. What part of your body has the same thickness? Try to find a place on your body where you can wear this ribbon, but lay it on the narrowest part of your neck. And now take it in the lowest place in the neck, at the lowest point in the neck. This means taking the widest place in the neck and trying to find a part of your body that is the same thickness. Please find the place and the distance between the forehead and the floor. Find another place that has the distance between the forehead and the floor. And try to find a place on the body that is the same distance from the floor. That is, a place whose thickness is exactly the same as the thickness of the forehead from the floor. Pay attention. Where is this place? Imagine a straight line passing through the nose, between the eyebrows, in the middle of the mouth, and follow it as it passes through the body, where it passes in front of the body. How far it falls from the right and left legs. Continue as if standing. Imagine lowering a plumb line. Where does it fall between the legs? This plumb line. And now listen to the distance between the left earlobe from the left shoulder and the right earlobe from the right shoulder. Which length is bigger? Which length is bigger? From the left ear hole to the corner of the left eye, or to the corner of the mouth on the left side? And the same thing on the right side, from the ear hole to the corner of the mouth and the corner of the eye. What is longer? What is bigger? The distance between the lips to the nose or to the chin? Like that. In the matter of the neck and the ribbon, thickness of the neck in its narrowest point is equal to the thickness of the calf in the widest point in the lower leg. This is one of the measurements that when we look at people with ideal bodies, you measure the circumference of the leg at the calf, the place where the two muscles of the calf meet. Thickness of this in the body, in an ideal body, is equal to the thickness of the neck. And now, listen to the distance between the shoulders. That means the bones. The place where the two collarbones meet the shoulder. Listen for the thickness of the shoulders. Which other place in the body fits exactly to this distance between the shoulders? Like you lie now, with a normal spread of the legs. The distance between the two kneecaps is the same as the distance between the two shoulders. Find a part of the body that is equal to the length of the forearm. Like when you want to put something on the forearm, like a bunch of sticks, you bend your hand and there is the distance between the elbow and the hand. That is what you call in Hebrew amah. This is a measurement. This is a measurement of the amah, the forearm. Try to find another place in the body that is equal to the length of the forearm, to the inside length of the forearm. Now try to think about the length of your foot. Try to see if it is the same length as the inside of the forearm, the length of the foot. Try placing your foot inside your forearm. Notice it is exactly the same length. It is no wonder that in old ages, ancient times, the forearm was a measurement. And the English found the same thing. They measure in feet. The foot is the basic English length. The ancient forearm and the English foot is the same thing. Notice, in your feeling, it is really hard to believe it's the same length. Fold your hand, so that the foot can come into your hand, into your forearm. Of course, the accuracy is not in millimeters. From inside the forearm, it's about the same for everybody, most people. Please lie back on the floor. Extend both arms on both sides of your body. Move the thumb away from your little finger, making the greatest distance, as if you want to make the largest chord you can, with your right hand and with your left hand. And notice which size of the body corresponds to this length. Try to actually measure with this your face. The face in length, from the forehead to the chin. And put it on the floor. And listen. If your feeling is feeling similar, for most people, the feeling is that the face is much larger than the hand. It is the same. It's about the same. For many, it's exactly the same. The intention is to do it in your imagination. Remember your body and not to measure. You can measure later out of curiosity to see if it is true. Measure in your mind, so your attention can wander around the body and try to distinguish distances and sizes. Now try to do the same thing inside the forearms as we did before with the face, with a bent hand. Otherwise you don't know where, to what extent. Bent hand and bent elbow in the inside of the forearm. And you will notice that the face and the foot and the forearm and the size of the hand are about the same length. Close your eyes and stop the measuring. Just listen. Slowly listen. Try to measure in your mind, and you will see that in thought and in feeling, the sizes are so different, and the change, and they keep changing as you listen and measure. What is the highest place from the floor when you lie down like this? Of course, the nose. The tip of the nose is the highest from the floor. And now the forehead, we said. We found the suitable place for the forehead. Where is the place? Please lie down quietly. Don't measure anything. Don't move. Listen. It's the highest place on the chest. I mean, right on the breastbone. The highest point in the chest, that's equal to the height of the forehead from the floor. Most people. Of course, we are talking about normal backs, more or less straight backs. Now find the distance of between the elbow and the shoulder, the length of the upper arm. And try one moment. What is longer? The distance from the elbow to the shoulder or from the elbow to the wrist? Closed eyes, please. Measure in the left arm, in the right arm, with closed eyes, and notice what is longer, the forearm or the upper arm. Most people have the feeling that it is the forearm that is longer, but that is completely the opposite. The upper arm is longer. If you take your fingers and hold your shoulder, you notice that you can touch the shoulder with your fingers. This means that the upper arm is longer than the forearm because you have the whole hand. Notice a place in the body that matches the length of the upper arm. Another bone that fits the length of the upper arm. Now listen along the shin, bent knee to the ankle. Notice which is longer, this shin or the arm. Listen to the left knee, to the left shin, to the left ankle, and the right arm. Find which one feels longer in your feeling, or whether they are the same. It's the same thing, the left arm and the right shin. Listen to your body and find which bone is the longest in your body. Listen from where to where. Please listen to the spacing between your legs, the angle that the two legs make, and the angle between the two arms. Which of these angles is bigger? Both the arms go to the side. And if you continue the arms, they will meet somewhere, and this makes an angle. And the legs make an angle too. Which of these angles is bigger? From the right thumb to the floor, there's a distance. From the left thumb to the floor, there's another distance. Which distance is bigger? from the right elbow to the body, and from the left elbow to the body. Which distance is bigger? From the little finger to the left heel. From the left little finger to the left heel. Or from the right little finger to the right heel. Which distance is greater? And on the right hand, in the fingers, in the knuckles. This means each finger has 3 joints. More precisely, 3 pieces, 2 joints. Which of these bones corresponds to the width of the mouth? The width of the nose to the width of the mouth. How much is it? Twice, 5 times the length? How wide is the mouth in relation to the width of the nose? Which ear is closer to the floor? The right one or the left one? And now, listen to the right hand. What is the smallest distance between the fingers? That is, between which 2 fingers the distance is the smallest? There are distances between the fingers of the right hand. Between 2 fingers, 2 nails, there's the smallest distance on the right hand. Which 2 fingers have the greatest distance? Please look at your hand and see which distance is the largest and which is the smallest, and if what you thought was correct. And now on your left hand, with your eyes closed, once again listen to the distance between the little finger and the thumb. And now find the smallest distance between the other fingers. And between which 2 fingers the distance is the largest? Of course, neighboring fingers. And now, move the middle finger of the right hand to the forefinger. That means that the middle finger and the forefinger will be together on the floor without lifting the hand. Well, the middle finger and the forefinger of the right hand, they have to be together. Do the same thing with the left hand. The middle finger and the forefinger together. And now move the ring finger towards the pinky finger. Not the pinky to the ring, but the ring to the pinky in both hands. Put the hands on the floor, close your eyes, and now connect the ring finger and the middle finger together. So there is a space between the pinky and the middle and the ring finger, and from the a space from the index finger and the middle finger in both hands, and leave the hands like that. And now open the ring finger towards the pinky finger and the middle finger towards the index finger. So you do the same as we did before. And do that 3 or 4 times with the 2 hands. Try to make a distance between the index finger and the pinky finger. Press them down against the floor so that you can move the middle finger and the ring finger in between them. And the ring finger is the hardest to control. Do that a few times with both hands together, and then with each hand separately. Close your eyes and try it yourself. Everything we did too fast. Because these things need to be done several times with each movement, with each of the movements. Try to travel through your body like this. Pay attention and look for things that are equal distances. And go over your body once or twice until you can notice that you can feel the sizes of the organs, the distances between places in your body, the angles. For example, one can compare the angle between the right upper arm and the body, and the left upper arm and the body. You can find the angle between the right leg and the left leg with the continuation of the spine. For most people, these angles are not the same. Anyway, as you lie here, there are only 2 or 3 people whose legs are symmetrical with relations to the body, to the spine. For all the other people, one leg is closer to the midline. That means when you're walking, you're standing crooked, with the pelvis resting on one leg much more than on the other. This means that the head is not exactly in the middle. Pay attention to whether you feel which leg are you standing on while you're lying down like that. Compare which parts of the right hand touch the floor and which parts do not. Pay attention to each finger individually. You will notice that they don't touch the floor in equal parts. Which one? Which one touches the floor? Which one doesn't touch the floor? Which length is greater, from the navel to the chin, or from the navel to the knee? What is the thinnest place in your body? Which is longer or wider? The pelvic circumference or the chest circumference? Try to extend your arms and legs so that you can make a circle through the tip of the heels, tip of the fingers, and your head. Spread your arms and legs so that you can make a circle. You have to put your hand in a special position. Of course, those who studied art in school, you know that Leonardo Da Vinci found that you can put the human body in a circle, and then rest of the organs are all in circles. He found that the hands should be extended above the head to the sides in the most comfortable position. In such a position, the hands, the head, the legs will be around a circle, and the navel is the center of that circle. And then, if you make a smaller circle around the navel, it unites the shoulders and the hip joint. You can make another circle that passes through the elbows and the knees. And these are the measurements that painters who don't know how to draw always use, because they don't have a sense, so they measure and know what's right. In other words, they draw what they were told, what someone said. It is like you feel like somebody tells you, love this. Of course, Leonardo da Vinci, who found it through experience and attention, he is a great painter. And now let's go over all the parts we did in our minds again. Everyone for themselves. Everything we have done. Try to remember what we did. What did we compare with what?